Good morning, it's Ria here from Maisie Moo. I have jumped up early to quickly put together the new purse made from the round Kiss clasps. Now I had some really cool names come through for this, and I think I might go with the Kandi with a K, because obviously this is the Kelly and I just kind of like consistency like maybe the Kardashians do. So Kandi, the Kandi purse has been born. I can't remember who said that, but I will pop through a free template for this to them once I finish getting this listed. So this is slightly different to the Kelly purse here. We don't have a gusset at the bottom, we don't have that extra fold. What this means is you can use a directional fabric like I have here, so that obviously it's not folding around and it's going to be upside down. I know some of you did try to cut and sew, but that is going to change the shape of the bag and it's going to make it harder to sew at the top. So this way, with the round ones, you can have your directional prints. It's much easier to sew too because you don't have to fold it. So really I'd say this is probably a better starter purse. Now we've got to it. Everything's pretty much the same as far as sewing the clasp on. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this today. I'll probably speed it up in parts. Like I normally do, I use the embroidery floss. So we've got the embroidery floss here with a knot on the end, and I have a shorter needle here. It's still a larger eye, but the maneuvering through these can be a little bit tricky. So you want to, having the shorter needle just gives you that little bit more freedom. The back on these is quite solid, which would allow for, if you were wanting to, line this with felt or some other fabric as well. But today I'm just going to use the faux leather. So this clasp here is got the same amount of holes, 23 holes, and it looks to me like most of the clasps have 23 holes. Obviously we'll see how that goes, but I would like, when you are purchasing, I would like you to double check that they do, because this will be all that I'll be making is the 23 hole version to suit most of these clasps that seem to be out there. I can't really allow for every supplier, unfortunately. So let's get started. You want to cut out your faux leather on your cutting machine. You'll see it's got all of the holes cut out, slightly bigger than the last one. I thought I'd make them I know a few of you said you had a bit of trouble, so I've just given you a slightly larger hole in this. And to be honest, it doesn't matter where you start, it's going to be where your knot ends up. So if you want it at the, I think I'll start at the base, so it's just down low, and it won't be sort of bulky on the side. So you simply want to sew all the way around to one side and back again. Okay, so we've come to the top of this base part here. Now remember, those holes are for where we're going to attach your clasp. I like to go around a couple of times just to reinforce the stitch. Here we go. So you can see it's wrapped around the edge. Give it a nice tug. Obviously not too tight, you don't want to cut through your faux leather. This is just a solid faux from Polka Dot Peach, and you'll see it's got like a fabric backing. This one here, which I've used for this purse, has a really lovely soft felt backing, which is a little bit thicker, and that one was from Jewel Box. I will pop a link to them in the instructions. So keep on stitching. So you've got your final stitch at the base here. I'm going to take it back through, and you just want to knot it off again. So passing your needle through and pulling it. There we go, you make a loop and then just pull it tight. That'll give you a wee knot. There we go, and I'm going to pass it through again. There we go, so you've got a nice tidy knot at the base. If you would like to, you could give a dab of glue on there, just a tiny little bit of glue just to hold it in place. Right, so sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. I think it's my neighbours are getting scaffolding up on their house, but I really want to get this finished, so you'll have to put up with it. Now we're inside out. You can see we're inside out. This is the bit where you need to have delicate fingers or something round and pokey, and you want to try and pull your purse through without tearing the faux leather, because it is soft, isn't it, the faux? You want to kind of get it all through. Now I'm just doing this with my fingers because they're round and soft and pokey. So just gently. Now you see I've used a thread or floss that is the same colour as my faux. There we go. So you can see the stitches there. As we come around the corner here, I didn't want to cut the inside, like say with sewing you'll do a few little snaps. You could try, but I wanted to keep the seam there as thick as possible just so that it holds. You don't want to be overfilling this purse. It's enough for putting some notes and coins in though. It's plenty big enough. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our 2 circles, and we're going to want to insert them and sew them onto the, let's just get some thread. Oops. Right, another knot on the end because we don't want it pulling through. Okay, so this here is your clasp. These ones open up nice and wide. So I'm going to bring my needle up through. I'm going to start at the bottom with these ones because they've got a nice big lip. We're going to be able to hide those knots in there. Okay, so I've got my first stitch in there. You want to look through the back. You can see your wee holes there. I'm going to pass it through the next hole and then find. So be gentle when you're doing this. If you can line it up and see your holes, you're doing really well, which I've just managed to do. Okay, so I'm going to just stitch my way around. I think once you've done a couple of these, you'll get the idea, and I know a few of you have used plastic clips to hold one side down. Right, so I keep catching this on the fish. Pesky little fish. Keep coming around. Right, so we've come down. We're just going to work our way back around again. If you're wanting to leave it as a single stitch, you could, but you are going to end up with a double stitch because you've got an odd number of holes. Plus, I think having the solid stitch is just a little bit stronger. It's up to you though. Now where we started, and we just want to knot off the last stitch. So I'm inclined to go through and do a double stitch on the end. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I just feel like it just strengthens things up a little bit. You're not really going to notice it. Be slightly fatter, but not by much. Okay, so you're wanting that loop internally. See how we've got, I've had to pull that one out because I pulled it through, but you've still got your loop there. Okay, so I'm going to get my needle and mind the fish and pull it tight. See how that's going to make it nice and tight. And if you can manage to get a knot through your other knot, try that as well. See, I'm going to try and pass it through the middle of this knot here. Gosh, it's fiddly with my fat fingers. Here we go. Go through. There we are. So you see I've still got my little loop and nice and tight. So I'm going to end up with a knot there, and I will show you what I'll do with that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go on and do the next side. We want to flip that, I just tuck it through like that. There we go. This is always easier this side, so I don't think I need to show you, but it's exactly the same as the other one. So I'm going to sew that together. Okay, so we've finished sewing all the way around and back again. You can see inside I've got my wee knots there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a touch of hot glue, and I'm going to use this Manky pin that I have, and we're going to just push the hot glue under. So I'm going to just take a bit off my glue gun, actually, that might be the easiest way, and just wipe it on so that that knot doesn't sort of stick out, but you're also not going to be seeing the glue. There we go. Do this side. I need to change my glue stick, kids have been at it. Okay. There we go, so you can't see the knots, they're all tucked under the edge nicely. You've got this cute little shape. I like this shape. I was going to go for a round, but then you don't end up with much space in your purse. And I like the idea of it looking a little bit like a candy corn. So there we go. So you've got your, what did we call it? Kandi purse, round shaped Kandi purse, using the 23 hold clips or clasps. I'm going to put a link for these. Now they'll be this sort here, and they come in all different colours. It's via Etsy, and they have confirmed they have a load of stock. You can obviously source them from elsewhere. You'll probably find them cheaper if you do that, but remember, I do suggest double checking the amount of holes that are there. But once you've obviously got a supplier and you know where they're coming from, this is a fabulous way to make these cute purses. And I think from what I gather, I need to glue these ones down, I haven't done them. What I gather, they've been selling quite well for you, so that's what I love to hear. Alright, well, I look forward to seeing these pop up on the Facebook page. Thank you so much for being patient with me getting these out. I've been really busy trying to get the house ready, but I'm heading out there again now. So yes, enjoy, and keep your eyes peeled for a few more. I'm thinking glasses cases, and I'm going to do them in both the square and the round for you coming up soon. But at the moment, I'll let you work on these ones, and we'll see you here again later. Bye.